friends, my name is Jake. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge, and I've got an upgrade video for you today. Do you have the TSProf K03 sharpening system? This is just the main components. I don't have the clamps on it, and I don't have the rod installed. But you want to upgrade it to the K03 PRO because you want more angles, and you just want to be able to adjust more stuff. Well, here's the Pro, the main component that is the upgrade. You've got the K03, and you change out this component for this component. Before I show you the process of, the how to take out your K03 and put your K03 Pro main stem on, let me summarize the feature changes. The K03 original, basically, you've got this angle finder up here. They've done away with that because they've moved to digital angle finding, which is way more accurate. In fact, they just announced another new digital, it's not a protractor, it's an inclinometer. Yeah, my pronunciation, I just can't say the word the right way, but it checks the angle accurately no matter which way the protractor is facing. Your digital angle finder is a good thing as long as it's properly aligned. If you move it sideways a little bit, it's not always accurate. So they've got a new device for that. So they've done away with this because it's not very accurate. The second big change is they've added this. So it's just a rod in the back, and you can change the angle by the rod, as well as changing the angle with the rack and pinion. Gives you a much steeper range of angles in case you want that, while still allowing you to go way down to some super shallow angles. They've added some numbers on here, as well as on main rack and pinion system there, so that you can rely on those numbers for your angle, but you can only rely on them to give you a rough estimate of the angle, because depending on how far the blade comes out from the clamps, different knives have the edge further away than others. It's not an exact angle. That is a good touch because it's got a very long reach. Biggest thing that they've changed from the K03 original to the Pro is inside here they used a threaded rod. Now the threaded rod is the gear system that the adjustments go up and down on. I know you can't see everything because the different parts are in the way, but it cranks along there, and it doesn't have very accurate, it's these screws are on an angle because it's regular screws. They're not exactly straight, and so you've got a little bit of backlash and not total freedom to get the exact angle. It's sort of in steps. I don't know if you can see it or hear it, but it moves down in steps. In those little steps. The K03 Pro has got a proper rack and pinion setup here. A smooth transition all the way up and down. It's not steppy so much, and that's a big improvement, major improvement indeed. And of course, much greater angle range. Now, let's show you how to swap them out. Begin with taking it off of the base. That's the big base plate that you have. Take it off the base plate. It'll be much easier to access the bolts that are down here at the very bottom, underneath, not on this aluminum shiny part, but on the steel underneath here. There's a couple of screws. And you get an Allen key that comes with the system, so all you have to do is loosen up those screws. Now, I'm not going to show you the full process of me taking these screws off. Now, you may have one of these stands on here. Let me turn it the right way up. This black section in here, you may or may not have that in there. All that is an extender to bring the whole thing up a little bit higher. You can actually stack two of them on there if you want to. So if you've got the K03 regular system and you want this to go up higher, but you don't want to buy the whole K03 Pro, then just buy these little extensions, or buy two of them, one or two of them, and it'll get you up a few more degrees of an angle. All right. So there you go. There's the main unit. There's a shiny plate. You've got your screws. you've got off the system. Now, if you want to use the extension, then you'll have to take the extension off as well. If you're making it so that you can have higher angles, it also means that you're going to reduce the low angles that you can do as well, obviously, because it's got a finite range of angles. And if you're setting it up to do a lot of high angles, well, then what you're doing is removing the ability of very low angles. Now, with the system, it can do pretty low angles already, so you don't need it. You could have had it sitting on there like that, or with an extension sitting up like that. In summary, the K03 PRO, I think it's a really good upgrade. Don't necessarily trust these angle numbers exactly that they've got written on the stem here, because depending on how far out your cutting edge is, that changes these numbers. They're just a guideline. Go ahead and get, either the Axicube or their brand new digital angle finder that they're coming out with, or, simply stick with something like this. That's very accurate, so long as you keep it straight. And what I mean by that, now that I'm in summary, is the digital angle finder needs to be parallel with the line from the rod down the middle. So even if, I don't have it with me though, so even if your rod's down over here, you turn your digital angle finder so that it's straight. You don't do it like this on an angle, because that angle's wrong. You just hold it on the angle like this, and so it's straight to the back, and it'll give you the accurate reading that you want to have. All in all, I like the upgrade. It's really good. So if you, for whatever reason, want to do the upgrade, yeah, I recommend it. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.